Breaking news, Andrew Yang scores CNN town hall. So Andrew Yang has a CNN town hall coming up, and that is freaking awesome. Before I get into that, I actually want to list off. There's a whole slate of town halls on CNN this week, so I just want to read them off real quick for you. Tuesday, April 9th, 10 p.m. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand will be on. Wednesday, April 10th, 10 p.m. Governor Jay Inslee will be on CNN Town Hall. Thursday, April 11th, 10 p.m. Julian Castro will have his own town hall. And the big double header for Sunday, April 14th, is author Marianne Williamson, which I've heard a lot of great things about, and Andrew Yang following. So Marianne Williams will be at 7 p.m. and Andrew Yang will be following her at 8 p.m. So there's a whole slate of primary candidates on CNN this week. That's pretty cool. I really thought CNN was just gonna give the people they wanted like town halls, but they've given one to Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, and now Andrew Yang and Marianne Williamson. I mean, these are like, as far as the establishment goes, these are fringe candidates that one would think that they don't really want anyone to just see or hear about. But they seem to be pretty even-handed with their CNN town hall. So I'll proceed cautiously and give them some credit because it's so hard to give CNN credit for anything. But so that's really cool. And I've been noticing Andrew's been picking up momentum. He's picking up more donors, more donations. He's been polling at 1% for the longest time, but some other polls have showed him polling at 3%. So this is good news going into a CNN town hall where it sets him up to get even higher because it gives him a national stage. Andrew Yang has been doing the rounds on the internet and some lower, below the radar type things. But getting set up with CNN, and he's been hitting Fox News lately, he's starting to get on the map. And like I've been saying for the longest time, Andrew Yang is my sleeper pick to do really well in the primaries. I firmly believe once people hear about UBI and how that's his flagship policy, he's just going to get a lot of support. He just needs a big audience, and he just needs a lot of exposure to get there. So he's building, and I think CNN is going to lift him. And then when the debates come in June, he's going to set to do really good in the polls. So I wouldn't really pay too much attention to the polls. Like that's not a fixed thing. Obviously, that's going to change. The polls always change, and the actual debates haven't even started yet. So a lot of us political junkies love watching the polls, but it doesn't really mean anything until the debates actually start. So just keep that in mind. But one other tidbit on Andrew Yang, I actually saw him on Ben Shapiro's show, and I don't agree with Ben Shapiro on most things. I don't like Ben Shapiro and the way he frames his arguments. I believe it's disingenuous. I believe he's somewhat of a bad faith actor when it comes to his arguments. I believe they're fallacious, and like I said, the framing is usually skewed really bad. But what I saw in the interview was just a conversation. It was more of a conversation. There was no gotcha, we're going to own the libs type framing. There was no skewed questions. It was pretty straightforward. And these two guys, you can tell they got along on many parallels in life. They seem like they're cut from the same cloth. They're both law students. They talked about schooling, their families, and you can tell their rapport was genuine, and there might be some fondness there for each other in some way. So that helped the interview. That helped drive the genuine nature of the conversation. So all the gotcha hijinks or the owning the libs hijinks that people like Ben Shapiro usually lean towards, those weren't in the equation. It was just a good question. I believe he asked good questions. He tried to frame them how he frames things, which is in a skewed conservative direction, which you have to expect from Ben Shapiro. But Andrew Yang was pretty good at correcting him and adjusting the framing. So it was just a good interview, and I highly advise you to watch it. It's about an hour long. It's on YouTube. So, but anyway, Andrew Yang on CNN. That's pretty cool. Just got to give CNN some credit here that they're not trying to just throw their candidates at us. They're actually giving low polling candidates their own CNN town hall. How cool is that? Like, share, subscribe, click the bell on the side. I'll talk to you soon.